Hi everybody, this is Todd V.
And I'm Erin.
And this is another episode of
Arts Quest.
Wow.
I know!
We actually
we practiced. That was awesome.
I like that. Okay, in this month's episode, we have some cool things we checked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Went to 78th Street Studios, which is in the old American Greetings building, and there's like a gazillion things going on there.
Mm-hmm. I know, I heard it was super cool. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
salty
right.
or anything about it at all.
Well, it wasn't really my fault you couldn't come. Why was that again?
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we invited Erin to come, but Erin didn't come with us.
Erin misses all the fun stuff.
And it was an awesome event. And I partied like nobody's business. I mean, no, it was kind of boring. And without Erin there, it was sad. I wept a little.
I know you didn't pick that iron. I'm hearing the knock on the door. Hey, who's that? It's Crazy!
After that, we're going to check out your new homie, Austin Walking Cane.
Oh, Austin. He is
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
Austin is king. 78th Street, whatever.
After that, we saw someone else you interviewed. Oh, yeah.
Who did we?
Akron Symphony.
Oh, that was really cool, too. No, that was
gospel.
cool. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool thing.
That was awesome.
So, if you missed it, you missed it, but you can check it out next year and you're going to learn all about it.
Yeah, no, but it was a really cool show. And actually, the behind the scenes is the cool part anyway, because that's the stuff that you're not going to see if you go there. You can buy a ticket and see the show.
Exactly. So
You can't buy a ticket and see behind the scenes.
Exactly. So we're going to check that out.
Right.
So, kick off the show. We're going out to the 78th Street Studios. Let's go check it out. Okay, so we've actually found the Wizard of Oz now. Dan Bush, the brains behind this whole operation. So tell us a little bit about the history of 78th Street Studios.
78th Street Studios began for us about a little over 9 years ago. The building, honestly, has taken on this fabulous character largely on its own. The American Greetings cachet that it obviously had, it was the American Greetings World Headquarters for 40 years.
Oh, cool.
Its final incarnation with American Greetings was as their creative studios for about the final 12 or 15 years of their tenure here. And I bought it about 12 years after that. There were a few artists renting studio space in the building, partly based on the Robert Crumb being an art director here, his connection, Tom Ziggy Wilson, also Derek Hess, who's a very well-known Cleveland artist with works in international collections. He was one of the original studios in the building. And I'm really proud at the roster we have here. We have 5 just fantastic art galleries dealing in works from old masters to contemporary, fine contemporary art to up-and-coming emerging artists out of Cleveland Institute, out of Kent State. And through that, Todd, as we discussed earlier, we've got a new project down on the first floor of the building called Smart Space at 78th Street. And that's going to be an event space, about 6,000 square feet, surrounded by up to a dozen individual artist studios.
Here at Legation, a gallery, with Hilary Orand, one of the gallery owners.
Yep.
So, Hilary, how long have you had this gallery?
We've been open since April 2009.
Okay.
We started construction in February 2009.
So brand new.
Brand new.
What is the philosophy behind this space?
I love to try and focus on representing emerging artists.
Now, do you have regular hours here, or is this sort of by appointment? Or?
It's mainly by appointment, but we try to open up Thursday evenings from 5 to 8, and then Saturdays 1 to 5.
Excellent. And your shows are everything, or do you have like a special like focus you have with the
It's
shows?
mainly contemporary. I would
Okay.
say most of the artwork we've shown has been contemporary. We've focused on photography, painting, drawing, and now sculpture and installation.
It is a very cool space. I would
Thank
highly
you.
recommend that people come on down and check it out.
Yeah.
And you have a website?
It's in the process.
Okay.
It's www.legationagallery.com.
Legationagallery.com.
So it's in construction. Yeah.
So
don't
maybe
go
by
there
the time
yet.
you see it, it'll be up.
Yep. If you go to the 78th Street Studios website, though, we're
Okay.
on there.
Excellent.
Actually, all the studios and galleries that are in this space are represented on that website.
Now we're here at Cocoon Art Gallery with gallery proprietor William Sheely. Tell us a little bit about your space.
My space is an invasive space. We have this gallery environment, but we also hang things out in the hallway and as any place we can. This is a rather interesting building because we've got a lot of different age groups here. There are music businesses, there's a magazine publisher, there are management companies, there are auction houses. So under one giant roof, there is a lot going on in the arts here, and that's really the reason that we are here.
It's definitely a cool space. It's actually the old American Greetings creative space.
Yes, it is.
And how long have you had your gallery here?
I've had this space open since late 2007.
Okay.
So-
And you maintain regular hours, or is it by appointment only, or how would people come to visit?
Well, they can, come anytime they want. I sort of keep hours Thursday through Saturday.
Okay.
But being off the street, so to speak, it's a little hard. People
Right.
really need to get to know where this place is, and that's what we've been working on this is the 3rd January now, where we've taken an approach to have everybody open at once. So
Okay.
that when people come here, they can run the gamut of everything that's here and get a better idea. And usually everybody's pleasantly surprised.
It's
That's a good thing.
definitely a fun space to tour around in. So if people want to find out more about your gallery, do you have a website?
Yes, we do.
And-
It's just cocoonarts.com.
And now we've wandered around over to the Kenneth P. Lesko Gallery, and we're with curator Ken Lesko. So Ken, how long have you been in the space?
6 years.
Okay, 6 years. So you've been here for a while.
I was one of the first here.
What is the focus of the art that you guys have in this space?
Right, well, we have many focuses. This particular one happens to be modernism,
Okay.
but we have regional Cleveland art,
Okay.
we have African art, American studio pottery, we have a number of things.
And are people able to come visit the gallery anytime, or do you have specific hours, or?
Well, we're here Wednesday through Saturday,
Okay,
and the hours are 12 to 5.
excellent. And do you have a website so people can find
Oh,
you?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And what's that website?
KennethPaulLesko.com.
KennethPaulLesko.com.
And all the past shows are archived, so you can see all the past shows.
So check it out. We found one of the artists that just moved into the smart space. It's Eileen Dorsey. How much space do you have here?
705 square feet.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is a really nice sized studio space. Now, do you intend to use this primarily as working space or gallery space, or?
Working space for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
And anytime they have one of these open houses, I'm going to keep my doors open for everybody.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
people can actually just traipse around inside your studio.
Oh
and
yeah, more the merrier.
See the glamorous life of being an artist.
Oh yes, glamorous.
So what drew you to the space here, the 78th Street Studios?
Actually, it was the location. Gordon Square was building up, and I kind of heard of this and researched it on the internet, and just called Dan Bush, who's the
Okay.
owner of the building, and he was like, "Hey, we have a new project. You want to come in and look at the space?" And I instantly fell in love with it. So, yeah.
It's definitely a cool space. Now,
Yeah.
what is your primary medium? You're an oil painter?
Oil, mhm.
And people can find you on the web?
Yes.
At?
EileenDorsey.com.
EileenDorsey.com. So we tracked Dan down again because we got down to the smart space, and it's really a cool space. If you're an artist looking for a space in the Cleveland area,
We're almost out.
okay, well, yeah, forget it. You can't move it.
But call me.
How many studios do you have down here for artists?
We ultimately will have capability for about a dozen studios. But I wanted to maintain a central exhibition space around the studios that we were and are building. So we've got a 6,000 square foot space where we're standing now that the studios are being built around. We're maintaining the architectural character of the rest of the building. There's a lot of curved walls, some kind of funky materials,
Yeah.
not conventional architectural materials, to just kind of give it some pizzazz. And we're offering them candidly very, very affordably. The 4 that are nearing completion, they should be done by the end of this month, were actually leased in approximately a week's time.
Oh, I'm sure.
All 4 of them.
The spaces are great. I mean, how large are they?
They range between 625 square feet and 700-ish square feet.
Okay.
We are, as I said, are completing the first 4. We've got, we're probably going to break ground immediately on an additional 3 at this end.
Oh, okay.
One of those was committed to today. I've received several emails from somebody who is just dying to come in and put a deposit down on the second.
So they're pretty much all gone.
And not necessarily,
Okay.
but I mean, all I can say is I want to work with serious artists. I mean,
Sure.
I want to work with people who are here to create something that will enhance the cultural aspect of our city and also be easy to work with and enhance events like we're having tonight.
78th Street Studios, cool stuff.
No, it's really, well, I don't know.
Yeah, but you're coming back next
I've
time.
heard.
We're going back.
I've heard. Well, why?
Because they're opening up that whole layer that we talked about with all those artist studios and like the big exhibition space. See, the coffee is very strong. The big exhibition space. We're going back for that.
Wow. Further evidence of my awesomeness.
We're gonna check out Austin Walking Cane.
Yes, we are.
This is Cleveland's. How would we describe him?
Fat. Does that work? Is that appropriate?
Well, maybe not appropriate, but the Delta Blues Man
But
from
no,
Northeast Ohio.
he is. Oh, wow, that was a lot more
Did you like that?
professional.
I know. I work at
See what
this.
he brings?
I actually get paid
See what he
to
brings?
do some of this stuff.
Awesomeness, no. Professionalism, yes.
Wow!
Yes. Give and take.
I'm kind of awesome.
Give and take.
Oh, all the awesome's over here. I'm sorry. All the awesome is right here over this person, just regular professional guy over here. So that hurts a little. I'm gonna go and cry for a minute. Let's just go ahead and go to Austin.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you. I got it.
Hi, this is Erin Ludlam with Arts Quest, and tonight I'm here with Austin Walking Cane. Now, if you don't know who Walking Cane is, you are missing one of the best blues musicians in the area. Now, his talent is not just located here in Cleveland. In fact, music reviewers from across the country are praising his warm baritone voice that speaks nothing but pure Delta blues. Now, if you don't know who he is, hang on tight because you're about to find out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I comb my head with a catfish back. Yeah, I made my bones in a dynamite shack. Got a belt full of boys underneath my hood. Squeeze me out of living out of wire and wood. Squeeze me out of living out of wire and wood, baby. Gone through the mud with a rich man's pride. Till I stole out the winter in a buffalo hide. Yeah.
So, Austin, you're based in the home of rock and roll. What's the deal with the blues?
Been a blues guy ever since I can remember. Started off that way a long time back. Started listening to classic rock initially. Then started reading about like Jimi Hendrix articles and Jeff Beck and things like that. And they always talked about the old blues guys. So then I would start reading articles on B.B. King and Robert Johnson and Booker White and things like that. And got wrapped up in it. I've been stuck ever since.
So, how exactly did you get started?
25 years ago I started at, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I bought my first guitar, bought a real one. Because I don't know why, for some reason, looking back at it, I realized that I was in it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a Gibson SG.
Where does the name come from? Walking Cane. Explain that. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Here we go.
There we go. I have a fake leg, but from the ages of about 16 to 26, I walked with a cane all the time. So I was down in New Orleans and on Bourbon Street, and this homeless guy was like, "Hey, Walking Cane, you got some spare change for a brother?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a couple of bucks for you," So I gave him a couple of bones. Thought, my band had just broken up, and I needed something because it was driving me crazy that we had just put out a CD a few months earlier, and now they're all sitting in my garage.
Right,
Yeah,
that sounds
exactly. So I thought, well, maybe if I formed some kind of blues name, then I could sell them until the day I die. So,
good. Oh, it's a marketing ploy.
yeah,
I got
it
it.
was.
Okay, awesome.
But now I don't need a cane, so nobody knows why I'm walking cane anymore.
Hence
Unless
the
I'm
question.
hurting.
Yeah, see?
Exactly. It was a good question.
Well, thank you.
Anytime.
Okay. So, so full-time musician? Do you?
Betcha.
No day job.
No.
Nothing to support this.
Stuff would kill you.
Just you. I agree. So, I understand you just came back from Kathmandu.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? Walk us
Well,
through that.
all right. I was asked to perform at this competition, and the winner of that competition would go down to Memphis for the International Blues Challenge. And I won for the solo duo portion of the competition. So I went down to Memphis, and then I made the finals down in Memphis, but I didn't win the whole shebang. But that's all right. But there was a guy at the Himalayan Blues Festival in Kathmandu, Nepal, that was looking at, you know, the finalists and things like that, and who actually made it there, because supposedly it's the cream of the crop, but not really. You know, it's just like people that aren't working and that, you know, get to go down, and if you're lucky enough, you get to get a road trip down to Memphis, you know, free, sort of. Not really. But, so the guy ends up seeing my name, and he checked out the music, he liked it, and I said, yeah, I'll go down, because I was thinking if I was playing some miserable bar that I don't like, and then if I was sitting there, and then I could be in Kathmandu experiencing whatever goes on there, I'd be kind of bummed out, so I chose Kathmandu.
As you would.
And it worked out really well, actually. Everything worked out. It was actually a really cool show.
So what's next for Walking Cane?
Oh, I got a great bit of news this weekend that I'm going to Australia for a week and a half. About an hour south of Brisbane, maybe an hour and a half from Sydney.
So where can we get your music? That's
My
the most
website.
important, right?
Yeah. At the website, www.walkingcane.com. Or you can go on iTunes and Rhapsody and all of that good stuff too. You can buy it digital. And it works out pretty well.
So let's check out some of your music right now.
Hey, that'd be great.
Austin Walking Cane. That's some quality music.
Yeah.
And pretty cool guy to hang out with.
No, he's great. I could hang out with Austin.
In fact, I did. Long after that shoot, we hung out all night.
No, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was definitely
He's a
fun to
cool
hang
guy.
out with. And enjoy the music. So definitely check him out on the web
Yeah.
and be looking for him playing in your local venue.
Yeah.
But next,
See what I have to offer? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't get ratings. And next, we're checking out, what is that? Gospel?
Gospel meets symphony.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
Now tell me about that. What was going on there?
It's the local. What was it? How many churches? 200 members, 200
Yeah.
voices coming
Yeah.
from all local churches in the area.
Mhm.
All different people come together and meet with the symphony
Yeah.
and the professionals of the symphony, and it's gospel meets symphony.
Yeah, it's really kind of an exciting
No,
program.
that was really cool. That
And-
was a really interesting mix of things.
Yeah, well, and although she's very succinct.
Yeah.
It was a cool mix of things.
Again, yeah.
Well, let's meet the people who created this thing and brought it together and keep making this.
Absolutely. Yeah, behind
really-
the scenes, which is the cool stuff anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to see this even if you go to the show.
Right.
So now you get to meet the brains behind the operation. Let's check it out.
The Akron Symphony Orchestra has been around for nearly 60 years now. In the age of, pop culture permeating every ounce of us and, the YouTube sensations, what do you contribute or attribute the success of a classical venue to?
Well, I don't think that it matters whether it's classical music or it's pop music. It's just good music. And the fact that we've been around for 60 years and much of our repertoire has been around for hundreds of years, I think speaks to the longevity of it. All we have to do is do it well and let the music stand for itself.
So what exactly makes up a symphony orchestra? And where do the musicians that you work with, where do they come from?
Well, our orchestra is not a full-time orchestra like some of the largers. Cleveland is a great example, New York. So what we have is we have this amazing pool of musicians, whether they be from the Cleveland Institute of Music, which is a fantastic conservatory. We have musicians that come from all over the state of Ohio, throughout the Midwest, so they're picking up jobs with us, they're playing with Canton, they're playing with a number of different orchestras, which makes for a very unique and highly skilled musician.
One of the most successful outreach initiatives through the symphony is the Gospel Meets Symphony program, which has just garnered an amazing amount of community support and involvement. How have you been able to bring in the community in such a way, and after 17 years, this program has just taken on a complete life of its own?
Right.
How does that happen?
We have choir members from over 80 churches in our community of all different denominations, and they've all come in with their excitement and their different styles and their different their different styles of music, and they're all coming together, and we're going to present gospel like it's never been presented before. So we're excited about that. And I think what else makes this Gospel Meets Symphony project so energetic is the spirit behind it. There's a spirit in the atmosphere that's not there at a typical symphony performance, but because it's a Gospel Meets Symphony performance, there's a spirit in the atmosphere that gets everybody involved, from the little children all the way up to our elderly folks.
I called a group of people together. We met. We brainstormed about what we could do. We had all kind of ideas, and in the meantime, it was during the Martin Luther King celebration in Cleveland, and they had a concert with the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra and a group of choirs that a friend of mine, they were having it at a church in Cleveland. A friend of mine invited me to come, and I went up there, and they had a group of different choirs just singing together. They had rehearsed before, and they came together that evening and they sang with the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra. And I was really impressed. Several of us went up. I was really impressed, and I said, we can do this and we can do it better.
Basically, since day one, the symphony has relied heavily on its group of volunteers. And that still seems to be the case today. How many volunteers roughly, work with you, and how can somebody, again, how could I be a volunteer? What do I do?
What do you do?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, we need volunteers. We have so many things going on, and we're trying to provide so much for the public that sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, and it's never enough volunteers that we can have. Right now, we have our Akron Symphony Guild. They volunteer their hours when we need, especially for our mailings and things of that sort. It's sometimes we have so many things going on at once that we don't have enough time. But if they want to volunteer, only thing they have to do is call me, actually. Call Brenda at 330-535-8131 and let me know that you want to volunteer. I'll send it out to my coworkers, and we'll see what areas or projects that we have going on at that time, and they'll gladly accept that. Even if you have computer knowledge and able to do update our databases and things of that sort, that's also very helpful. Right now we have one lady that has been with us, I think 15 years or more. Her name is Barb Clark, and she comes in every single Tuesday, never misses a day unless she goes out of the country. And she's very dedicated. And right now, only thing you need to do is just contact us, because basically our volunteers are those who love the symphony. And even if there aren't performers or so forth, they just enjoy being around the atmosphere.
Phil Walls, the new executive director for GAMA, the Greater Akron Musical Association, was recently brought on board, due in part to his experience and proficiency with fundraising and development. how important in this shaky economy is fundraising and contributors, both individually and corporate, to the future success and the goals of the symphony?
Well, it's extraordinarily important, whether it's a shaky economy or not. I would say that the shaky economy has given us a boost and an increase in ticket sales because I think people are looking for quality of an experience, and they're always looking for a value. They're always looking for a bargain. And actually, the cost of going to a symphony concert is a lot less than what people expect. Certainly much less than a big sporting event, whether it be a football game or a Cavs game or something like that. In terms of fundraising, it's very, very important. If we were to sell out every concert, it still wouldn't pay the expenses for putting on and doing what we do. We'd probably have to have 2 or 3 people on everyone's lap in order for it. So even with strong ticket sales, and we are kind of experiencing that right now, fundraising from individuals as well as corporations and foundations it's always important.
So where can people go to contribute?
Well, the best thing to do is to go to our website, www.akronsymphony.org. And there'll be a staff listing, and you want to look for our Director of Development. Her name is Janae Garlando, and she would be the person to contact.
So tell us a little bit about this year's Gospel Meets Symphony program.
You can expect to see everything done with a spirit of excellence and joy that people often experience when you attend a gospel service or a gospel concert. Everything that you would expect, from the hallelujahs to hand clapping, foot stomping, you're probably going to see a lot of that, but it's also going to be coupled with the serenity that you would find in orchestrated music. And then you get to hear the different types of genres and the giftings that are implied in both of those arenas. So when you have the feeling and the heart of someone who sings gospel, coupled with the training and the intensity of someone who's been classically trained, and you bring the two together, it creates something altogether new. So really, literally, you're going to see someone's heart when you experience this concert. You're going to see a lot of work and a lot of input, and you're going to see people coming together and working together who genuinely love doing what they do. And to be able to do it in a concert setting, and to be able to present it to those who you know, familiar faces, your family, your friends, those who you live and work with every day in the community, there's nothing like it. That's why it's Gospel Meets Symphony. There's nothing like it.
Thanks for joining us on this month's Arts Quest. I'm Todd B.
And I'm Erin.
If you want to know where you can find us at the next gallery opening, check me out at Twitter at ToddVO. And if you have suggestions for the show, be sure to check us out at artsquesttv.com. Send your ideas, and if there's something awesome that we haven't covered, let us know about it. And that's all we got.
Right about now, we're going to picture ourselves all together on an island. Warm breezes, beaches, sunshine, happy people, and the right chords. Everybody's got a pina colada in their hand. Oh, and they're free. Or Jameson. So why don't you come and spend some time on my island with me? Ooh, ooh. So you're walking through life now, just trying to make your way.
You're going right off the edge. Here she goes.